Okay, welcome back. Moving to day 2. So we still have a recon of 2. Our bars didn't change. And we have 5 victory points. We need to get to 39. So let's see the first card. We have a secondary target. Very good. We like secondary targets. Let's hope to get a primary one here. And we got 2 secondary targets. That's not as exciting, but we're going to do both targets. We'll just pick one of these to be the primary and the other one will be the secondary. So here's what's crazy is there's only 2 planes on each mission. So we're going to get to rest a lot of our pilots. This one is a dogfight, so it's only air-to-air. So let's try to do this one first. And we'll set the other one off to the side here. And so what you do when you have 2 missions, I like to put 25 and then a slash and then 42. Okay, so we'll set this off to the side. And 25 is right here. So it's going to be a stress level of 1. It's a small dogfight, and we're going to be up against 2 A6 M2s. Okay, so I think it's just a matter of pulling out of the Bandit Cup until we get A6 M2s. So let's see if we can find one. Here's one. That's an A6 M5. Oh, you know what I was saying? Here's one, but it's not. It's a no bandit token. We can't do no bandit tokens. We need real A6 M2s. Let's see here. Here's one, finally. And here's the other one. Okay, so that wasn't too painful. So we got a newbie. See that little N there? It means he's a newbie. This one's a green. It really doesn't mean much, but the rules, you can see here, there's a little box. If you kill a legendary or a veteran, you put them here, and they actually go in this box and they're out of the game. So if you can kill one of their legendary or veteran pilots, you sort of get like a little mini bonus of never having to face them again. So this mission is 2, and the rules say that the bombers never leave the target, but I think these guys do. -1 stress means that it's going to cancel. So this mission gives you +1 stress. So there's going to be no stress for this mission. We're going in, it's a dogfight, and then we go out. All right, the bigger challenge is our best dogfighter is, of course, the Sakamoto guy, who was amazing. Our legendary guy here has 4 stress. We're going to let him rest. We're not going to bring him out. But you know what? We have other air-to-air combat guys. They're just not as good as Sakamoto. Sakamoto's amazing. So we have this UK-based Corsair here, Alexander. He got +1 air-to-air, so he's a candidate. We have Paxton here. He's a green pilot, so he has -1 air-to-air. We need to bring him in just because we need him to get leveled up. This one gets +2 air-to-air. He's a great one. And that one has +1, Dougie Wong there. So what we're going to do, Dougie Wong's going to go in a different, he's got that amicable thing, so he gets to take 1 stress away. No one's getting any stress on this mission unless they evade, of course. So, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually bring, we're going to do this guy and the green pilot. We're going to bring both of those in. Is that something smart? No, that's not smart at all. We need to... We're going to bring in the UK fighter here. We're just going to do both of those. So we're going to have our beast mode guy and then an average guy. come in here and do battle. Okay, so we select our targets, we arm our aircraft. We're not arming them with anything. That's what's so awesome. I mean, in Hornet Leader, we'd spend 20 minutes on that step. We are going to draw a target-bound event card. Give one pilot one extra gung-ho counter. Ah, that's pretty nice. So let's grab a gung-ho counter, and we'll give it to him. He normally doesn't get one. Okay, so place your aircraft. It doesn't matter. So we're going to place them here at the south, so that way I can keep these cards on the board. And they'll be a little bit closer for us camera-wise. So we're going to just come in from the south here. And it doesn't matter what our altitude is. There's nobody to attack us other than those two fighters. So that's it. We're coming in high. Determine and place bandits, done. Intel air defense adjustment, nothing. Over target card. Add 2 to all rocket attack die rolls. We don't have any rocket attacks, so that's not going to worry. We move to turn 1, and off we go. So we're going to start fast pilots attack, bandits attack, slow attack. No one's going to attack. Everybody's range 0, so we're going to move in. And then these guys are going to move in, and now we're going to have a dogfight. So I get to engage them because these are free escorts. And so Sakamoto's our best guy. He's going to go against their best guy. Then we'll match Alexander like this. And I'm going to just turn them sideways so we can have it more like the way you see it in the rule book. So they're both neutral. And we're going to go start turn 2. One thing about it is, again, nobody has special action, situational awareness points. I'm starting to realize that maybe in this game they're more valuable than I gave them credit for. I can tell you as these guys level up, they do get them. Sakamoto doesn't for whatever reason, but the other ones tend to. So anyways, so we're going to go straight into the bandits get to attack. So we'll start with this one. So we're going to figure out what his maneuver choice is. It's a 6. He gets a -1, so it becomes a 5, and he's going to try to do a yo-yo. So we're going to roll again. He rolled a 7. -1 is a 6. And then he has to subtract the our air-to-air. And Alexander has an air-to-air of 1, so it's now a 5. So for a yo-yo, he gets a -1 to his attack. So he's going to go ahead and try to attack from the neutral position. And again, I always forget we're taking a stress because we always evade, remember? I'm so busy worrying about the video. Okay, so we get to 2, and he's going to do no damage. This, by the way, let's say that I did go with that. He would subtract 1 because he has a -1 on him. And then he would subtract another 1 because of that. So this would have actually become a 7. And it would have damaged Alexander, and Alexander would have been out of the battle. But that's not the case here. So now we're going to move on to this one. He rolled a 1, so he's going to attempt to do a tight turn. So now he rolled another 1, and so nothing changes. No effect is what that stands for. And now he's going to attack. And yes, we are, he's agile, so he can evade for free. That's what we like about him. So there we go. And by the way, this agile skill is phenomenal. I recommend you guys do that in your game. So he rolled a 1, he missed. Now it's our turn to do some damage. So we're going to start with Alexander here. And I'm going to attempt to do a yo-yo. Yes, we'll do a yo-yo. So I'm going to roll. I rolled a 6. He gets to add 1 for his air-to-air ability, and then add another 1 because he has a -1, so that became an 8. The yo-yo at an 8 is +1 position, +1 attack. So it becomes like that. And so I'm going to go ahead and use my gung-ho, and that is going to be used for a perfect 10 roll, so I don't even have to roll. I'm just gonna kill him. And so, boom, this guy's dead. He goes back in the cup, and Alexander gets his first kill. So it's funny, I actually, Alexander is gonna, so now I'm gonna just circle this one. Or maybe put an X over them. So he's only got one of those 2 kills right now. And then we're gonna move to Sakamoto. Sakamoto's going to attempt to, remember we want to get a better position, so he's gonna try to do a, what should he do? A half loop? Yeah, why not? Let's try a half loop. So he rolled a 9, and he gets to add 3 because he has a +3, so that's 12. And this is a 0, so he gets to move 4 positions and have +1 attack. So he's in this situation, he gets +1 to his attack roll. This is a 5. He gets to add 3, which is 8. He has the fighter fight ability, which is 9. He's tailing, which gives him 3 more. That's 12. He only needed 8. He destroyed his target. Sorry for bumping my hand there. We created ourselves an absolute beast in air-to-air combat there. Sakamoto is amazing. So Sakamoto has his 3rd kill. And the mission's already over, so we can show that we didn't spend any SO points. Oh, we have to return home, so let's draw the return home card. Keep this card when a pilot suffers a missing in action result. Instead, he returns with +... Ooh, that's a good one. So we'll keep that. We destroyed our target, and then we're going to draw a slash because there's 2 targets this turn. We only get 1 victory point. And that's fine. Like we determined, there's no stress for the mission, so they're not going to gain any stress. And they do get experience points though, and they're both going to get 2. So Sakamoto is up to 4, and Alexander has 2. And that is a mission, much quicker than the other ones. And so we'll just take Sakamoto, set him off to the side, and then I don't know what to do in this situation. He got a gung-ho token because of an event, and when he uses the gung-ho token, you flip it to the use side. It doesn't say it leaves the game. So does that mean he has a gung-ho for the rest of the campaign? I'm assuming yes. I don't know. So if anybody has a more definitive answer for me, please let me know. And maybe it's in the rule book and I missed it. Okay, so Alexander is done. Sakamoto is done. And then we move on to the next mission. So the next one is a truck convoy. And again, we only get to take 2 planes. There is going to be 1 bandit draw, and then we have sight draw. We get to draw the sights first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 for the middle is 5. So we have a rifleman. We have riflemen in all directions and a heavy MG. We only get to bring in 2. We have to make 2 hits on that target. It is a soft target. It is small. And if we do 3 hits, that's what this overkill means. If we do more than 2 hits, if we actually do 3 hits, we get an extra victory point. Now the small keyword, we're going to have to look that up. It says -1 air-to-ground rolls against this target. So we will get a air-to-ground penalty against that target. So one problem with that last mission is I sent all of my dive bombers on it, and they all have stress. So I could theoretically send them again. It's not like they're so stressed they can't go on another mission. But I want to let them rest, and I want to give experience points to my other guys. So I'm going to send 2 out, and I have to figure out which 2 it's going to be. I'm looking. We're going to send out this Corsair, and strangely enough, we're going to send him as a bomber. Because look, his air-to-air is actually worse. I know I picked this guy because he has really good air-to-air once he levels up. Actually, look, his air-to-ground is actually better even there. So, yeah, we're going to use him as a bomber. So he will come out as a bomber. He has 2 weight points just like the dive bombers do. He just doesn't get to dive. That's the key difference. And then we could bring out one of our torpedo bombers. This is target 42, which is here. So that's going to be a 1-stress mission. We could bring out Grimmond, but I think we're going to bring out Dynamite Dougie. Oh no, he's an air-to-air guy. We don't want to do that. Should have used him in the last one. Yeah, the only other bomber we have is this Avenger. So we can bring him out, or we can bring out Walker there, who only has 1 stress. That was my other thing I'm considering. He has the quick hands and the alert, which is nice. It'd be nice to get him some experience points, but we actually have to win to get experience, or at least to get 2 experience. I would like to get 3 hits on this target. So I'm still thinking, bear with me. This is a brand new game for me, so I'm not as confident in my decisions. I'm contemplating this. He gets a +2 to his die roll against soft targets, which is what that would be, is a soft target. Problem is it costs 2 SO points to buy this. And SO points are a premium, and I'm already down to 15. So I'm not sure that that's a good choice. I think as much as I want to bring Grimmond on this, I think I have to bring a more seasoned dive bomber with me. So I'm going to bring both of those guys. So we assigned our pilots. Now we have to arm them. This is why this is so much nicer than Hornet Leader. I'm done. Boom. I just put 1 token on each one. I'm banking on the fact that this bandit, I'm just going to ignore it. I am not going to do any air-to-air. So we're going to do a target-bound event card. Decrease the stress of every pilot in a squadron by 1. All right, that is quite awesome because he had 1 stress on him. So I was worried about that, and now he doesn't have to deal with any. The other thing I want to do real quick, you're supposed to do this at the end of the day, but every pilot that did not go on a mission today gets what's called a rest. And this pilot and that pilot went on the first mission, so you don't want to touch them. But everybody else loses 2 stress plus their cool. So you get to take 2 stress off of everybody who did not go on a mission today. And then this one actually loses 3 stress, like that. And so remember, that's procedurally, you don't do that until the very end of the day, but I like to do it now so I don't forget. And also, the pilots that already went on a mission are jumbled in with them, and I don't want to mistakenly take stress off the wrong one. So for this one, now we have to place our aircraft. So I'm not sure if there's an advantage to having them together or not. The dive bomber can go high and then dive in, whereas the other one, Paxton, has to come in low, right? He has to come in low because he can only drop his bombs low. And that's the drawback with the Corsair. You know, there's no dive bombing. So that means as he flies over this target, it's going to get to take a pot shot at him. So I'm going to just split them apart like this. And now the next step, step 9, is we get to do intel air defense adjustment. It says -1 from all sight and bandit attack die rolls. That's actually very helpful as well. What this is saying is that when they attack us, they get a -1 to their rolls. All of their rolls. All the attack die. So if they're doing maneuver or whatever, they're not getting a -1 to that. Okay, so next. Intel air defense adjustment. There was nothing there. And we're on turn 1, and off we go. So my pilots are not fast. They're both slow. Oh, we were supposed to determine bandits a while ago, so apologize there. Let's see what we get. No bandit. Perfect. So there's no bandit to harm us. So now it's turn 1. Fast attack, nothing. Bandits, nothing. Slow attack, nothing. We're going to move and then move. So now we're on turn 2. There's no fast attack. The enemy does get to attack here because I'm flying low over this. So that rifleman just rolls an attack and he gets a -1 to his roll. So I am going to do evade because I said I always do evade. I'm one of those people who like tries to be stingy and say, oh, what's the chances he's going to roll a 6 or higher? Actually, no. Look, in this situation, the worst he can do is give you a stress. He can't destroy you. See, look, it says 6, nothing, nothing. I'm going to take that stress off. We're going to let him roll his 1 die. So he rolled a 3, and then it's a -1 because of the event card. So actually nothing happened to Paxton. That's actually a sweet one. I guess it makes sense. What's the chances a rifleman with a rifle is going to be able to take out a plane? Okay, so we are done with that. And now we move again. We are over the target. Okay, and we're going to start turn 3 over the target. This one is going to dive bomb down because remember there's the dive bomb step. And then they get to attack. So it's this rifleman. And so I'm just going to do the attack first, and then if they actually hit, I'll roll to determine who they hit. So it's a 4, he didn't even hit, so we're not worrying about that. Okay, so remember, the small means -1 to the air to ground. And let's do Paxton first. So he's going to drop his 1,000-pound bomb. He gets a +0, so he's going to get a -1 because of the soft target. So that's his situation. And I rolled a 3. So he didn't even hit. His bomb completely missed. That is a big bummer. Now we're going to move to Walker. And Walker knows the situation is important. So he's going to use his gung-ho to get a perfect 10. And so we're going to do 3 hits. And we're going to destroy the target, which we only needed 2 hits. And we're going to get an overkill for +1 victory point. That was worth it because I basically spent a gung-ho to get a victory point. I'm pretty sure I could have destroyed this target and gotten a 7 with, because I get +1 for the dive, etc., etc. This quick hands gives me a +1 as well. It doesn't matter. I wanted the 3 victory points. It's the only way I can guarantee it. So what we did is we spent no SO. We destroyed the second target, and we get 2 victory points. So that's 3. So we're going to put 8 there. So we're up to 8 now. We still got a ways to go. But we are at 8, and that's good enough for now. So we're going to move these pilots off the board. It's hard to pick them up with one hand and all the tokens on them. Okay, and then clean up. Walker. All right, so we have to do homebound, I'm sorry. Select one newbie or green pilot in your squadron to not fly in the next mission. Walker is not newbie or green. Oh, I have to pick just anybody in the whole squadron. Well, Paxton went on the mission, So we will pick Paxton. Paxton doesn't get to go. I guess we'll just have to remember that. Okay, so the target is in a 1 stress zone, so they both get 1 stress. Paxton has 1 cool, so he does not get a stress. And I think this guy has cool. He has 2 cool, so he gets no stress. So nobody gets stress for the mission. And then the experience points, they're going to get 2 because they destroyed the target. So Paxton will have 2. And he needs 3 to level up. He's really close. Walker will get 2, and he needs 7 to level up. So we're done there. And the other thing before we put this card away is it says Intel 1. So what we do is we go to our Intel and we move it 1 over. At some point we're going to actually be able to start destroying sites and bandits. That is very cool if we can get to there. So that's it for day 2. And now we move to day 3. See, the game can be really quick when you're not sitting here explaining rules. We're going to go ahead and move to day 3. My battery is going dead, so I may not be able to finish it at this point, but let's go ahead and, oh, I've drawn the wrong card. I didn't read it, so if you did, don't tell me. Okay, so we have the first one here is a large anti-aircraft, objective 6 light machine guns is your objective. So this is all ground targets, no bandits at all. So that's an interesting one. You get to bring 5 planes. 5 planes to kill 6 targets. So bear that in mind. I can't just go in with 1,000-pounders. Okay, that's one. And let's see if we can get a secondary target. And we did not. This is a soft dispersed target, landing support. It is a gung-ho. So I also get to bring 7 planes on this one, and I have a nice mix of bandits and sites. I sort of like this one more for several reasons. Number one, it's just more victory points. So because neither of these are secondary objectives. So I can only pick one, and then the other one gets discarded. I get to bring more planes, so that's more experience points for me, more victory points, and then since it's gung-ho, I can spend my gung-ho points, and guess what happens if I win the mission? They all recharge. So I'm going to go ahead and take landing support. It's a superior one. I really wish this was one of those secondary missions we did yesterday, but we have to discard this, and so I'm just going to put a little discard pile over here, like so. And we can pull that out. If we ever go through the entire target deck, the discard pile gets shuffled back, and that becomes the new deck again. Obviously, the destroyed targets are out of the game. And in fact, I can put that pile over here. Okay, so we selected our target. Now we get to determine and place sites. I picked this because this was more pronounced and easier to read on the video, but this glare is awful. I may move back to the neoprene mat because I'm guaranteed there won't be glare there. We get to place our sites first, so let's do that. 2 on every approach and 3 in the middle. So 2, 2, 2, 2, and then 3. Okay, so no site. I'm sorry, you're not able to see what I'm seeing here. So we have one of those riflemen that doesn't really do a lot of damage. We're starting to like riflemen. They're like really nice for flying in low. This is one of those LMGs, by the way, that we would have had to go against in the other target. And then we got a special sight with a rifleman. So, special sight is another radio call. So if you're in the same space and you're high, you get +2 air to ground. And then this is a no sight, a special sight. See, that would have been a perfect one to get radio, is right over the target. So what did we get? We got Okay, if we destroy this site, we get +1 victory point. So if we just attack this thing and destroy it, we get 1 extra victory point. So that's a nice little distraction. We do need to get 6 hits to win, and then of course there's going to be bandits that we haven't drawn and we're not going to get to see. So now we assign our pilots and we arm our aircraft. Okay, I get to bring 7. Last time I brought 2 dogfighters and one of them got taken out early, as you know, and the other one held his own, but he got overwhelmed. We're drawing 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11 bandits. So I think there's going to be a lot of air-to-air. So let's get Dougie Wong into this. So Mr. Wong will be in this mission. And I'll just start the lineup over here. This is Mad Cartographer. We'll get him in. And add him to the mix, so there's 2. The guys with stress we may let sit out. We're gonna... All right, let's look at what dispersed is. I know what it means in the other leader games, so let's see if it's the same here. So each air-to-ground attack cannot inflict more than 1 hit. So what that means is I can't drop that 1,000-pounder and do 3 hits. If I drop that 1,000-pounder, at most I can do is just 1 hit. Now, obviously, in more modern games like Hornet Leader, there's actual missiles that are good against dispersed targets. That's not the case here, so we're going to have to be a little bit more old school, and so we may have to do different approach to try to do this. And even like something like the napalm is worthless. You're only ever going to get to do 1 hit with the napalm because it's dispersed. So that's an interesting twist. It does make the dive bombers not as useful, because the dive bombers, I guess you could still do a dive bomber and just drop a whole bunch of those 250-pounders. That is an option. All right, so I get to do 7. Let's figure this out. I will take our legendary guy as our 3rd. So we're going to have 3 air-to-air guys. And then I want to have 4 bombers, and I'm thinking of taking my Dauntless again, all 4 of them. Because they have, well, no, I probably want to take my gung-ho guys. Why not? Because this is a gung-ho mission. So I want to bring Sakamoto. And I guess Mad Cartographer will sit out again. We'll put in Sakamoto for 3. This Brett Grimmond is going to sit out. He's more of a torpedo guy. He already used his gung-ho, so he'll sit out. Jericho Baker is for sure coming in. He's got 2 gung-ho tokens. Paxton has to sit out because that's what we agreed. And let's put Bearcat in. And then Walker. So how many do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have to take 1 out. So who do I have in? William Case. Guess I could take out Doug Wong. This target is number 7. So it's here. It's a 1 stress mission. So my debate is I'm thinking of taking him out because he already has a stress anyways. And he doesn't have any gung-ho tokens. Everybody else does. So my thoughts are, you know, let's just stick with the gung-ho guys. The other option is to take out Jericho Baker here, because Jericho is, he's the torpedo bomber guy. But I think I'm okay with this. We're going to just take out Benson, because remember we learned our lesson. When all 4 dauntlesses go into a battle, the next day they're not as helpful. All right, so I'm going to write on day 3 that we're doing target number 7. And we armed our aircraft. Let's do target bound event card. You may pay 3 SO points to remove a total of 8 stress from the pilots on this mission. That is really nice, but I don't want to spend the SO points, and we actually don't even have 8 stress to remove. So that would have been really nice later in the campaign. I have to say, sometimes DBG's event cards can be brutal. These ones don't feel very brutal, and I actually prefer that. I like games that are more strategy and not, you know, hey, I'm going to just punch you in the mouth. Okay, so we did that. Now we place our aircraft. So these are our dive bombers. We have 3 of them, and we're going to come in high with them, obviously, and Dougie Wong will be high with us. And then Will Case is going to come in high along with Sakamoto. We'll put Sakamoto there, and then he will be high, and then we're going to let Jericho come in low with him. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to change Sakamoto to go over there. Okay, so next I have to... Oh, I was supposed to arm the aircraft. I'm sorry. I was supposed to do that a while ago. Jericho here is going to go after this victory point. So he just needs to get a hit. The victory point is not a soft target. One of the things we can do is we can try to, you know, you need to roll a 9. That's what's bothersome about this. If I move to this, you only need a 7. But see, this gives you a +1 for soft attack. I think it's the only one that gives you a bonus for soft attack. The napalm does, of course, but we don't want to use those. The 500 pounders don't give you +1 anymore. Yeah, we're gonna... So we can do 4 of these for every pilot. So I'm just going to put 4 there. I'm not going to put it on the card. And I'm also going to just put 4 here. 1, 2, 3. So technically speaking, everybody has 4. Except for the fighters, of course. So this would be 12 of them, and then this is 4 more. And let me just make sure I actually, because you are token limited. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I had just enough. Okay. So my thoughts. Jericho here can go for the extra victory point. Everybody else is coming in and just dive bombing the target. Jericho can, of course, use his extra bombs after destroying this victory point to go after the target. This is considered a soft target. All tokens are. If somebody sees something in the rule that says otherwise, let me know. It does not have an S on it, so... But I think it said that every site is a soft target. So, yeah, let's get going here. Determine and place bandits. So this is going to be the interesting part. It's 2 per approach. So here we have no bandit and a bandit. So I'm putting the no bandit just off to the side. There we have 2 bandits. 2 more bandits. Holy buckets. And one more no bandit. And then 3 in the middle. I'm starting to realize there's a lot of air-to-air combat in this game. Look at that. 3 more bandits. Yeah. Lots and lots of air-to-air combat. Okay, so bandits are placed. Draw the over-target event card. Gain 1 SO point for each hit inflicted on the target. So we're going to just keep this. That's a nice way to get an SO point. If we can do 6 hits, we're going to gain 6 SO. I like that. I am going to announce we're going to use this card. Remember it said for the duration of the mission, increase all pilot air-to-ground stats by 2. We're going to do that. So we're using both of these cards this mission. And we go to turn 1 and off we go. Okay. Quick check, is anybody fast? No, all of our pilots are slow. Nothing's happening on turn 1. They can't attack us, we can't attack them. So then we move first, and so Case and Dougie Wong are both going in, and Case will engage this pilot, like so. And then, of course, everybody else is moving in, and then those bombs go with each of those. Now, these two are going to move in here, and Sakamoto will engage like that. Okay, now the AI gets to go, and basically they are all moving, and we're going to have quite the fest here. So these two are moving over, these two are moving over, and then we have 3 here that get to choose. So we're going to do 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 5, 4, and 9. So they're going to divide like this. I'm going to take this little rifleman and just stick him off in a corner because he's not doing anything. I'm going to take this, stick it off in the corner. Again, they're not doing anything. So we have 4 bombers coming in, and each one of them, or 4 fighters, each one of them is taking one of our bombers, and there's not a thing we can do about it. Well, actually, Dougie Wong is an escort. I get to pick one, and he's going to go after their best guy, which is this one. So then it's going to look like this. Okay? These 2 are fighters, whereas these 3 are bombers. Now here, this situation's worse. Sakamoto did take one, but the bomber is going to get one. And then we have 2 guys that are just sitting there, and they're going to get to take pot shots. So the air-to-air in this game is brutal. Okay, that is the end of turn 1. Now we move to turn 2. We have no fast pilots. Let me check real quick. Do we have any situational awareness? I don't think we do on any of our guys. No, we don't. There is 1 situational awareness for this guy, Mad Cartographer, and we took him out. Okay, so the bandits get to go first everywhere. So we're going to start with the rifleman here. He's going to roll, and then if he actually does hit, I'll roll to see who he hits. He rolls a 6, which actually is a hit. That's a bummer. So 1 to 5, 6 to 10. So we rolled a 1. So Jericho Baker takes a stress. So Jericho, wherever you are, you're taking 1 stress. Okay, he has the Brave ability, which means what again? He gains 1 experience point for every stress he suffers from a bandit or sight attack. That was a sight that attacked him. So, Mr. Jericho, where are you? Right here, you get an experience point. Well done. Okay, I am worried. Let's start here. We'll start at the bottom. Let's roll for a maneuver. He rolled a 5. He gets a +0. Dougie Wong subtracts 1, so he's at a 4. He's going to do a tight turn. A 3. So tight turn has no effect. So now it's just going to do a plain attack. And Doug will take a stress. And we'll take the 1, so no hit. Okay, now we're going to do the other dog fight up there. So he rolled a 7. Case subtracts 1 for 6. The fighter is actually super poor, so it's going to subtract 2 more to 4. So he's doing a tight turn. And he rolled a 4, no effect. No effect. And so now he's going to attack. And I'm going to I'm deliberately not going to do anything. So I got a 5, which is fine, because this 5 gets 2 subtracted from it, and then he subtracts another 1. So there was no hit. That was why I felt really good. It was impossible for him to get an 8 against me. So that's why I did that. And like I said, most of the time I don't do that, but this time I did. So now let's do our troublesome ones. We'll start here. His maneuver is a 6 minus 2 is 4. But Walker has a 0 air to air. So 4 is a tight turn. So he has no effect. So he's going to do a neutral attack. Walker will take a stress to evade. He has an alert. So thinking about this, should I use it now? What the alert does is it lets him put a -2 on the attack roll. I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to roll 2 dice. I got a 6. It does subtract 2 because of this, so it becomes a 4, and so he missed. So that was worth it. Now we go to the next guy. Rolled a 3. He's trying to do a tight turn. He rolled a 1, no effect. So now he's attacking Bearcat, and Bearcat will take 1 stress. And we're going to roll 2 dice. Don't take the 10. How about the 7? Bearcat adds 2 to his, so he gets a 9. Oh. Bearcat is destroyed. However, he can use his gung-ho to change that to 2 stress. And is he damaged? Let's look it up. All right, gung-ho I know is in here. It's just where? Here it is. Okay, after suffering a destroyed, which is what we had, the pilot may spend a gung-ho. Oh, it's no effect. That's even better. So I don't even have to put 2 stress on him. So basically he missed. So that's awesome. Bearcat Davis, you survived a squeaker. Okay, now Lewis is next. Didn't mean to disrupt them. So Lewis is next. His maneuver is an 8. He has a -1, which is a 7, and Lewis cancels his -1. So he got an 8, so he's going to try to do a half loop. He rolled a 1, and the half loop is -2 position. So he's actually going to become like that, so he can't attack. Now, the rules say that after a bandit attacks a bomber, they disengage. So these are all disengaged. Yeah, they're all disengaged. And now we're going to move to this one. We'll do the bomber first. Jericho. He even wrote me on Facebook and said, "Do me well. Watch me get him killed here." So let's go, Jericho. He rolled a 6. He has a +0. So he's trying to do a yo-ho, or yo-yo, not yo-ho. So we're going to roll for that. So he rolled a 7. That's not good. Jericho, where are you, Jericho? Has a -3 air to air. So this becomes a 10. So the yo-yo just became +2 position, +1 attack. So that means he flips around like this, and now the fighter gets +1 attack on him. Okay, I am really going to get him killed. So he's going to do add a stress. So we can roll 2 dice, and the 9's no good. The 5 isn't even good because we're going to add 3 to it. That's an 8. Jericho is destroyed. However, he's going to use one of his gung-ho. Those gung-hos are darn nice. So no effect. And now we're going to go to the Sakamoto situation. He rolled a 4. That's going to be a tight turn. And now he rolled a 9. Sakamoto actually subtracts 3 from it to make it a 6, but it's not enough. He gets +1 position, so he actually has advantage on Sakamoto. So we're going to go ahead. Sakamoto gets to evade for free. And we're going to take the 4, which is no hit. He is going to get a +1 because he's advantage, but we give him a -3, so it's no hit. And that brings us to the end of, oh no, we got 2 more. Now these guys are both going to go after the bomber. They always go after bombers first. They both get a -1 to their attack roll, and they count as a neutral status. So for Jericho, he could, yeah, he's going to have to take 2 more stress, but now he's going to be shaken. Jericho's in trouble. So here's the first attack. We're going to take the 2, so no hit. Second attack, well actually, hold on, we take the 2. This makes it a 1, but Jericho has a -5 air to air, so that makes it a 6. So he gets another stress. So he's up to 5 now. So now we're going to do the next one. We'll take the 4. -1 is 3, +5 is 8. Jericho is damaged, and he takes 2 stress. So Jericho, you're not going to be doing anything this mission. So he's out. In fact, as soon as he gets to go, he's going to jet out of there. And now they're done with their turn. So it's our turn. Jericho can't do anything because he's damaged. You know what? He has a gung-ho. We could have used another gung-ho. And then I could have not taken a stress because who cares if they hit me? So, yeah, we're going to take 2 stress off. And the damage token comes off. So Jericho is not in as bad a shape as we thought. But he's going to be. By the way, that brave ability, what does it do? +1 experience point for every stress he receives from a bandit. Oh my goodness. So he just received 1 stress from a bandit. So Jericho gets another experience point. I don't think we get to count the stress he takes for doing evades. Okay, now it's our turn to finally try to do something. So let's start with Dougie here. Dougie gets +1 to his air-to-air. He's going to try to do a half-loop maneuver. So he has a 5. +1 is 6. There is no, the enemy air-to-air is 0. So he got a 6, so he gets +2 position. So he is trailing. And so now we're going to go ahead and attack. Doug rolled a 9. This thing is destroyed. So he just destroyed target, And I'm off map here, or off camera, marking Doug Wong with a kill. So that's done. Next, we're going to go to Case. Case gets a +1, and that's a -2. He's going to try to do a half loop as well. So we've got a 3, he makes it a 4, and then he makes it a 5, 6. And that's, again, +2 position. So now we're going to go ahead and attack. That's a 4. This is a 5. That's a 6, 7. And then because we are tailing him, we get +3 more. That's a 10. That's enough to kill. Target. And then Case gets 1 star. All right, so we both did our job. Sakamoto is in a bit of a bind there, but he's going to do a half loop as well. And Sakamoto rolled a 7. He gets to add 3 to make it a 10. And a half loop at 10 is +4 position, +1 attack. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and then you just don't do a 4th, because that's as good as it gets. So now he rolls his attack. He rolled a 1 for his attack. He does get +3, because he's Sakamoto, but that is not going to do it. And I'm looking at Sakamoto. Sakamoto gets +1 because he's a fighter pilot. He has a gung-ho. I should have used it. 1, 3 is 4. Yeah. Now, technically speaking, you're supposed to make this decision before you roll. But we're going to go ahead and use his, and we should have used Dougie Wong's as well. But we're going to, no. We're not using it. Let's follow the rules. So here's a 1. +3 is 4. +1 for the fighter pilot is 5. Okay? He's tailing. He got into position, so he gets 3 more. That's 8. I don't need to go back and reverberate anything, and he's dead. He got his target. So Sakamoto just down another plane. We already killed 4 with Sakamoto. Okay, and that ends our turn. So now we get to engage. So Case is going to engage this one. And then Dougie is going to engage that one. And then this one, these 3 are going to move. Okay, and then this guy is going to move with them to engage one of these, and we're just going to do 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 7. So he's engaging Walker for the next turn. And then here, Jericho is in trouble, but he's going to go in to the target, and technically speaking, we need to do 2, 4, 6, 8. So 7 would have still been the same person. Okay, so Jericho is in, and then Sakamoto is going to take on this guy who has the +0, and then these 2 are both going to come in, and 3, 6, 9, we got a 1, so he's taking on Jericho. And then 5, 10, got an 8, so this one's going after Bearcat, like that. And Lewis is the only one untouched for the next turn. All right, so that's how that looks, and we're going into turn 3 now. First thing we do is we're diving, so all 3 of these bombers are flipping over to their dive side. Next thing we do is fast attack. There's nobody. So now the bandits get to go. And this one does get to go. So we'll roll. He got a 9. So that means 1 stress for Sakamoto. Where are you, Sakamoto? Why don't I see you? He's over here. So he gets 1 stress. Goes to 2. This one, this heavy machine gun, 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6. He's going to attack Lewis. Lewis will take a stress. Roll 2 dice. The 1 is a miss. Okay, so now we keep going. We're going to do, we'll start here for the bomber. So he's going to roll. He rolled a 3. That's a tight turn. He rolled an 8, but this is a -2. Makes it a 6. Walker does not change it. So it is a 6, which, and a tight turn is +1 position. So he is going to get an advantage. Walker will take a stress, and he's going to use his alert now. And that was a good time to use an alert. Holy cow. So we got to use the 8. This makes it a 6. And then because he used his alert, that makes it a 4. And the 4 is a miss. Now, however, he has advantage, and so that becomes a 5. So he does do 1 stress on Walker. So Walker is at the maximum stress to be okay. He's at 3 stress now. So now we move to Bearcat. Rolled a 4. This is a -1 for a 3. You see me skipping this a lot, but unless it's a 5 or more, it's always tight turn. They don't do barrel roll, scissors, or yo-yo. It's either, because remember, we're always neutral with these guys. If they're ever in one of these other spots, then they would try the other stuff. Okay, so it's a tight turn. He rolled an 8. This is a -1 for 7, but I think Bearcat adds 2 more, so he has a 9. So he's going to get 1 position on Bearcat, and he's going to get +1 attack. Bearcat will take the stress. So we roll 2 dice. We need low number. There we go. We got a 1. He does add, so he subtracts 1 here, but Bearcat adds 2. So he would become a 2, but he needs at least a 5 to hit. He gets another 1 because of this advantage, but it's still not enough. So Bearcat got very lucky. Lewis is fine. Now we go to Jericho, which this is a troublemaker here. The 8 gets a -1 to a 7. They're doing a yo-yo on Jericho. No, they're doing an out of the sun on Jericho. So now they rolled a 10. Oh boy, out of the sun on Jericho is +4 attack. Holy cow. All right, Jericho has no choice but to take the stress. So now he's shaken, but that's adding plus. See, if I take the stress, that adds another +2 to their attack. I can't do it. I have to just leave it as it is, and they're getting +4 to their attack. Jericho's going to be dead. 5 plus 4 is 9. -1 is 8. That's a damaged. So Jericho got it so close. He was there. All he had to do was survive this. His gung-hos are gone. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about this one. He is now damaged, and he takes 2 stress for being damaged. And when you're damaged, you can't do anything but move. There you can't attack, you can't do anything but move. One thing I wanted to look at here . So the gunner attacks, I'm pretty sure, now that I've been thinking about this, the gunner attacks occur on their turn. Because, see, after they attack, the rules say, return any aircraft or bandits to unengaged following their attack on a bomber. So these guys are disengaging, which means they're not going to be able to do a gunner attack. So these gunner attacks would have occurred, simultaneously. So I'm going to roll for them. The brackets. So Walker gets a +0. I rolled a 10. Walker actually destroyed his bandit, which is pretty good. So Walker gets 1. Bearcat, however, only gets he gets a -2 to his roll, so he got nothing. And Jericho gets, well, we know what he gets. He gets a -3, and so that would have been a 4. That would not have been enough for Jericho. So the problem with Jericho is he's out. But we can at least do other things. So let's do air to air here. A 4, that's a tight turn. That's no effect. So he's going to attack Sakamoto. And I am not going to take, oh no, Sakamoto gets a free. So we get a 6. Sakamoto subtracts 3 from that. That becomes a 3. And so he misses. Just so you know, that was a 5 he needed. Okay, so now we move on to Dougie Wong. He's getting an 8. Dougie Wong subtracts 1 for a 7. And then 7 is a yo-yo. An 8. Doug takes 1 away for 7. 7 is not good. It's +1 position, +1 attack. Doug will take the stress. Go to 2. So this is a 7, +1 because his advantage is 8, +1 because of whatever this was up here is 9, and then Doug takes 1 away to make it 8. Doug would be destroyed. So now he's going to use his gung-ho.